On the one hand, we've gone through several years of economic rough patch, and on the other, we're now in the year of the tiger, which promises fiery and exciting opportunities. Question is, are you ready to handle it? And do you dare to fail? We'll be chatting to the author of the bestseller Dare to Fail, Billy Lim, who's also a businessman, a motivation expert, and a social activist. My name is Syed Fardino Omar, and you are watching In Person Chinese New Year Special. So here I am, decked out in a, on a deck chair, feeling really comfortable reading this book, Dare to Fail. And guess what? I have the man who wrote the book right here next to me. Billy, thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you for inviting.
So this is what you do when you have time, You just chillax and come to the pool.
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm not the really physical guy. I'm more mental and more spiritual. So the only thing that I physically got involved is actually swimming.
Swimming lah.
Because when you're swimming, when you're short, it doesn't make any difference. Just like when we are in the bed, it doesn't make any difference. We're even.
Everybody's equal.
But don't let me play basketball. I can't. We know, Because when I was during my school day, I have an experience playing football, and I got knocked. I felt like my bones are broke.
Oh, right.
After that, I decided we must go into a certain area whereby I think we are more competitive.
Right.
We are better at.
Right, so hand swimming. Okay, I'm going to use the swimming pool as a metaphor here. I'm going to jump right into the deep side of the pool. So you've written Dare to Fail, okay? Dare to Fail. So if you dare to fail and you're not scared of failure, what are you scared of?
Yeah, in fact, that is a very interesting question, you see. Because if you are not, a lot of people, why they couldn't achieve what they want, was because they were blocked by the fear of failure.
Right.
So actually, if you can overcome this fear of failure, you will start from your dare to dream, to dare to try, and then dare to fail, the third column, and then dare to achieve. So actually, in that sense, when you are not scared of failure, in terms of achieving your goal, there's nothing you are scared of, But you may be concerned, more concerned that you may lose the passion or the energy, or time is running out. When time is running out, you may just like, doesn't matter now, just let it go or something like that, or just let it happen, something like that.
Right, I see. And then, so how do you understand? So when you've written a book, so you write it based on your experiences, right?
Yes.
But how do you understand the way people face adversity? Different people go through it different ways, right? I go through it differently, you go through it differently. But what do you understand? Is there a common trait between everybody?
In fact, there is a general common trait. One thing I know is there are people have few choices. Sometimes they will run away from the adversity, one group of people. Some, they will just not do anything, just sit for it to happen. Another group, the third group, they will face it and they try to overcome it. And it is the third group that will grow stronger. Because if you look at things carefully, all adversity in life, challenges in life, are actually like a test, It makes you stronger once you can overcome it. But if you do not want to face it, then it will come back again, Your worst fear will still come back again. And then when you come to think about it, you look at nature. Any tree, for example, near the seaside, with great wind and great storm, they are stronger, And those lembe one, without any challenges, they become lombe. And the same thing also, like what that does not kill you, make you stronger. That's why immunization come about. It's already there. So people should not actually fear adversity. They should be a trainer to be able to face it. But the modern upbringing is so totally different. The parents are so overprotective of the children that these children don't have a chance, to try something on their own, to make mistake on their own. This is to me a very serious thing.
Right, okay. Yeah. Did you have to, so that means, are you saying that, when you were growing up, you had the opportunity to try many things and, get cuts here? Just now you were talking about football, right? Yeah. So what did you go through?
You see, the funny thing is, my parents, they were not educated.
Yeah.
So, they don't know anything about school. They just let us do what we want, So they never even guide us. So what I did was, you see, like now coming to Chinese New Year, you know what I did now? I sell firecrackers, You know, I was born in Batu Pahat. I would go all the way to Muar, 30 miles away, to buy from wholesaler and bring the firecrackers and start selling directly. I don't have a shop, you know. So I start to sell directly, you know. So these are things that when we're young, we have the opportunity to do. But nowadays, I think modern parents, how you dare you go and sell this? You know, you think your parents don't have money, because everything like that. So these are the things. And also when I was after Form 5, waiting for my result, the two things I learned, I play mahjong. You know mahjong? I play mahjong and learn driving. You know. You see, because again I say I'm not physical. You see? So mahjong become a more mental thing lah. You know, but sometimes people will be wondering, hey, mahjong is not good lah. You know, it could be gambling or something like that. But what they don't understand is, it helps to build you the appetite for risk. You know, we dare to take this. We dare to anticipate what the other person is doing. In fact, right now I'm about to go back to mahjong again because I just discovered mahjong helps your brain grow. You know. As you grow old, your memory will have a problem. Yeah, but if you start playing mahjong, you look at people in Hong Kong, old folks, so old, and their memory is so good, and it's because they play mahjong. You see, so these are things that people should try, lah. You know, don't be scared of, that you may not be able to do well. You know, you may stumble. It's okay. It's because we are walking. That's why we can stumble. If we don't walk, how to stumble? You know, there's something like that.
So you obviously don't, are not scared to take risk and all that, and then you learn from the things that you do, like mahjong and all. But what's your story? So, what are the things, the difficult things that you had to go through before you reach here?
Yeah, you see, in my life, before I reached that level, I have experienced many failure, many types of failure. You see, my family is a broken family. I mean, my dad is practically beating up us now and again, so many children for them to beat. You see, and then, when I go to school, my result is also not so good, So that is another failure. And then I couldn't have got into the university had I not got a bursary, some sort of scholarship, because last time they tried to encourage people from a rural area to go, So that was one of the government affirmative action, which actually I was one of the results also, And then when I start my business, I also experienced, I brought it to great heights, really very great heights. When I was at the age of 26, I was already together, working on the same platform with our Dr. Mahathir when he was the trade minister and deputy prime minister. Imagine the kind of height that I have gone through, but then it zoomed down, and then when it zoomed down, something worse happened. My girlfriend also left me, oh my God, that one really hit me hard, So from there I begin to realize, you may be very strong, in business, but maybe emotionally wise, you may be very weak, So all this experience begin to make me learn, and I begin to analyze the life of many successful people. And then I saw a common thread, All of them have gone through great hardship, in order to become what they are today. So that is why it put me in a very good position to write the book about failing. And incidentally, nobody write about...
Yeah, but why? You see, you make an interesting point there. So you know that, okay, a lot of people, the great people go through hardship before they get the success. But why did you choose to write about failure? Why didn't you choose to write about success?
Right. As I say again, you see, a lot of people, when they wrote about the stories of successful people, they never actually zoom in onto the aspect whereby they really suffer and really bad thing, I have read also others' biography, but they seem to skip that part, I don't know why. And then I realized that it was when I was deep down, when I really fallen, that was the time I really realized what success is about, That was the time. So I realized that, actually, a lot of people have taken success wrongly. They follow what is in the dictionary. Because the dictionary have defined success as achieving a favorable outcome. In other words, if you have not achieved it, means you have failed. And this is the worst definition that have destroyed a lot of people.
How will you define it then?
Yeah, because success should be a journey, not a goal. You see, they put it as if it's a goal. So when you don't achieve it, you feel like a failure. You just imagine this kind of definition of why it destroys a lot of people is, when you want to go for something, it means you haven't achieved it.
Yeah.
So with that definition, you feel like a failure, no? But then when you have the other definition, that actually success is a journey towards the goal, you know that the moment you are on the journey, even though you have not achieved it, you feel you have a success consciousness. That is the very great difference. Very, very great difference. That's why sometimes people, I ask in my seminar, I ask people, what is the opposite of success? They told me failure. And that's the wrong answer. In fact, the opposite of success is actually people who didn't try anything, people who don't do anything.
Right.
This is the opposite. In fact, failure is a complementary to success. You see, that's why they're always saying that failure is success turned inside out. Then you begin to realize, in fact, from there, I live life differently already. Whether good side or bad side, I welcome it. You know, I don't have every day. I mean, you don't meet good people every day. But even if I meet bad people, I will learn from the experience. This is part of my life. I cannot throw it away. But there are people nowadays, they only want the good side. True or not?
Correct.
To me, if you only want the good side and don't want the bad side, you are actually experiencing 50% of your life. That's the thing. So this is the kind of thing which actually through my book, I want to share with a lot of people.
Right. I see. Okay, well, we'll talk further about the book, but I think we need to, go jalan-jalan a little bit. Like, it's such nice weather. Stay with us. We'll delve further into whether you dare to fail or not. So stay with us.
Setiap hari, ikuti perkembangan utama mengikut perspektif kita.
Seorang juruterbang terbunuh apabila helikopter milik sebuah stesen televisyen terhempas di Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Kenyataan yang dibuat Iran adalah tidak rasional, malah mendakwa pemimpin sering membuat kenyataan berbau politik.
To express themselves freely and to do so without.
Disampaikan oleh dua generasi baru dan berpengalaman setiap hari jam 1 petang di Astro Awani, berita segenap dimensi.
Okay, so we're back with Billy Lim. Now, Billy, we want to talk about failure and how does one go through it and all. But let's create like a base for everybody to understand. Is there, in any form of literature, or how do you understand? Does the Chinese face adversity? How do the Chinese traditionally and culturally go through hardship? Is there a certain way that people do it?
Yeah, in fact, if you were to look through the history of Chinese literature, there's always a saying in Chinese they call, they say, 失败是成功之母. 失败是成功之母. Which means failure is the mother of success.
Right.
But even though they say like this, I tell you, a lot of Chinese also don't understand. They do not understand, just like what they say, like failure is success turned inside out. They don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that, but it's actually true. Because sometimes you look at the word, like the word opportunity.
Yeah.
Opportunity, the word in Chinese is called 机会. It is a combination of two other words, no? 危机, and then another 机 is become like a crisis and then meeting, no?
Right.
So when crisis and meeting, when there are a lot of crises and they meet together, there's opportunity. So the word true. So from here, in fact, if you were to look at the history of China, since our long ancestors, they have gone through great hardship, gone through hardship. Why is it that nowadays you notice that the whole world, you notice that somehow rather Chinese is always associated with being able to do business, being able to go through a thing. It is like in the gene, For so many years now, they've been struggling. That's why the same thing, even like in Malaysia, the Malays, because they are too short, you see, they only got about 200 years history. So you don't have this kind of experiences in the gene.
Referencing
So you must start to begin. You will take time, but you must start to begin. But of course, if you give them a special training, you can cut short the learning curve. That can be done. Special training so that suddenly what people need to learn for years can be accumulated.
So what's this special training that you're talking about?
In fact, I have one. I have a special seminar called Dilahirkan untuk hidup bebas, born to be free. This one will clear off all our limiting beliefs, all our fears. I clean it off first, and then we put in the real positive one, and we put in the realization of the real definition of success and what is failure. So they begin to grasp it very fast. So with that in their heart, they can continue without giving up. Because if you look at all the stories of all these successful businessmen, even from Bill Gates to Jeff Bezos to Jerry Yang, whatever, you notice one thing, they persevere, they never give up, this is the key. But how do you develop this? It is an emotional thing. That's why you need to have an emotional program, frankly speaking, to develop the emotion. It can be done because I have developed.
Another interesting thing that we could think about is, in any city in the world, you will have Chinatown. So the Chinese people, traditionally and culturally, will always be able to go through, hardship to set themselves somewhere. So, what do you say about this?
Yes, you are very correct, You see, when you put a Chinese together in the southern community, it becomes a Chinatown. But if you put some black people, the Negroes, and it becomes a ghetto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is all because of the bad tradition, You see, when you go into the Chinese, they will trade among themselves, and that's why the economy grows. It is very funny. That's why sometimes when I look at it, it's important that, like, for example, if let's say we want to build a community or business people from the Kaum Melayu or what, they need to mix around with us to understand how this thing works. They cannot just stay together in their kampung and then they are not exposed to the corporate side. They will never learn. You see, you look carefully. Right now we are here in the USJ. You notice it's booming or not?
Yeah.
The last 2 months, the property prices have shot up by 20%. The property shot up.
Why?
Why? Because they already see the LRT coming. The LRT, there are 5 stations on this Jalan Kewajipan. Frankly speaking, now is the right time. Now is the beginning of the curve. It will keep on going up. By the time the station is all been done up. So we can see the trend. You see, and then for that matter, like the Chinese community, we are not exposed to a lot of land. You see, once last time when our forefathers came, they have no land at all. You know what I mean? So land to them is very precious. But for the Malays in the kampung, so much land, so they may not value it the way the other community value it. So it becomes a very important thing. That's why it's all in the psychic.
So how can we work together in like this?
Yeah, that's why like today, even when you do this program broadcast to the different community, when they realize, and it makes sense. So they may want their children to also get involved like that.
Tunggu buta.
Ini bukan ilusi. Oh kasih.
Ini cerita pasal apa, Makcik? Pengorbanan.
Telefon untuk melanggan. Sila ke saluran 130 untuk Pratonton Mustika.
The weather is so nice, and we said that we wanted to check out the pool, so we are checking out the pool. But then, unfortunately, the wind is so strong that it's actually affecting our mic. So we've had to make Plan B. But okay, we are here sat in front of the books. This is a small collection of Billy's books, and we've got books on art of dying and his Dare to Fail book and books of wisdom. So in front of all this wisdom, I'm going to ask you sort of like an antithesis question. How important is luck in determining someone's success?
First, we must define what luck is. So, as far as I know, luck is actually preparation meeting opportunity. So, I just give an example why this is so. Let's say we happen to have an opportunity coming. Somebody is selling, let's say, a house very cheaply, and then we didn't save enough.
Right.
In other words, we are not prepared. So other people bought it, right? And then we say we are unlucky because after they bought it, they sold it off for a very handsome price. So, but if we happen to have the money, and this house happened to appear in front of us, and we got the money, and we bought it for the cheap price, and then people say we are lucky. So therefore, you will look at it very carefully. luck, therefore, is equal to preparation, meeting the opportunity. So in that case, is there such thing as luck? So in other words, in order to ensure that we are always lucky, we must always prepare ourselves. In other words, we must be ready, for the opportunity that is going to come. So we'll be always lucky. Right. Actually, it's not that difficult when you understand that. It's not that. That's why it's important that people must have some saving. People must prepare themselves. Intellectually prepare themselves with the skill. So when the job opportunity arrives, he will be the one who get it. Is it not? So is it lucky or not lucky? Now I'm asking you back. You see what I mean?
So luck alone is never enough, lah.
Not enough.
You have to be prepared.
You make your luck. And that is prepare yourself for the opportunity that is going to come. You don't know what is going to come. It can come. Nowadays, a lot of opportunity, but a lot of people are not prepared for it. That is a problem.
So now, it's Chinese New Year now, and we've entered the year of the tiger. That's why we have cute little tiger here.
Yeah, cute little tiger here. This is very cute one.
Okay, in your opinion, is the year of the tiger going to be a lucky year?
As I say again, if we are prepared, the year of the tiger is a year which I look at a lot of opportunity to grab.
Okay.
Because if we were to look at the Chinese mythology about the tiger, we are talking about movement, we are talking about fierceness. So therefore, there will be a possibility of conflict, and the possibility up and down. When I talk about up and down, we are talking about the stock market. Okay. So it's likely there will be up and down and up and down. So when we are prepared, we buy when it is down. So this is the key. And then if you look at it at the year of the tiger, they were analyzing this is a metal tiger. It's a metal tiger, and the tiger basically is wood in nature. Yeah. So they're going to be cut, So they're going to be conflict. So we can say that since it's a metal, earth, property will be a good one this year.
Right, okay.
This year. And you can see it coming. And then furniture maybe will be affected because of wood. So if we analyze it very carefully, Europe is still having some crisis now. So the export of furniture to Western countries may be affected. Okay. But then when you look at the movement, I could foresee there will be a lot of good for tourism. Moving you can. So, but then when you analyze the tiger, you realize that there's a saying, one hill can have two tigers. So you see a lot of leadership crisis. You already can see it, we can see it in some of the political parties that we are experiencing. I think it's going to be carried forward into this year, 2010 will be very exciting. So people must be calm. Don't want because of a small thing we get agitated. We must learn to look at the big picture. Don't get emotionalized. If the crowd is moving that one way, we don't move with the crowd. We don't go by the herd mentality. This year we must be very careful. And then of course during the consider movement, it means balik kampung. You must be careful, or else there'll be accident. Because we are exerting the energy of the tiger.
Right, I see.
And this is common sense.
But okay, coming back to what you were talking about, the stock markets in locally and the tension in Europe.
Yes.
So even in the last year and the year before, we've been going through an economic rough patch.
Yes.
So given your wisdom and your knowledge and how you say dare to fail, so how would you go through it?
In fact, when you say
what advice can you give
when
people?
you say rough patch, you look around, You look at our roads are all jammed with cars. My opposite neighbors are having 5 cars, and you can see all the makan stores so full. What rough patch are we talking about? We actually Malaysians are living in a paradise. We are living in a place whereby the rice has been subsidized, the sugar has been subsidized, the petrol has been subsidized, and a lot of things have been subsidized. We haven't gone to the rough patch, I believe when all these things have been taken away, and the labor costs start going up, then we begin to see the real rough patch. So it's good that we must be prepared for it. And I can see it will not be long already. It looks like maybe this year, if you read what the Prime Minister say, they may be taking away a lot of subsidy. So we must be prepared for it. We cannot keep on depending on subsidy. But of course, we must increase the pay of people, because if you look very carefully, our graduates are very underpaid, compared to other countries. Our workers are also underpaid. So if we want to have a high value, high income individual in this country, we have no choice. We may have to start paying higher and everything go up lah, you know. So, you know, when you get higher income, they don't mind paying higher for something they don't mind paying more for sugar, because they are having higher income. So, it must start somewhere.
Right.
Or else, frankly speaking, we will be stuck in the middle income bracket lah. Very soon, we'll be competing with Vietnam, you know, if we're not careful. Very soon, we'll be competing with Indonesia, if we're not careful, because that is exactly what we are in now. So the rough patch will come soon.
So in the year of the tiger, you know, how would you advise Malaysians to actually grab the opportunity?